Hi lovelies, I hope you're having a good day. Today is the first really beautiful, gorgeous day in a really long time, and the first day I can take advantage of said beautiful day. And I have been meaning to do a video about things in general, and honestly have just been really deep in life. And there's just been a lot going on in my own little world, and have needed to take some time to process it. All of my energy is being used in that way right now. So, with that being said, I have been feeling very heavy lately, specifically today. And I don't know how you are, but on this page, we're honest about feelings. And for me, I don't always know what I'm feeling when I'm feeling it. A lot of times I just know that I'm not 100%. I'm just not necessarily okay. And today specifically, I have felt very much like I'm just not okay, and have really needed to sit with that feeling. And so I did a little driving. My son fell asleep. Of course, he wakes up right when I get here, right? And I don't really know 100% yet that feeling, but I do feel like I've settled into it a little bit better. And as I've settled into it, I've been thinking about grieving. And it is my belief that we as people flit back and forth between grieving and healing, and losing and loving, and loss and life. And that these are processes that are always in balance for us. And it is the momentum and the balance of living a day-to-day life, right? And oftentimes we're doing both of those things simultaneously. We are losing in one area of our life, and we are living in another area of our life. And what I mean when I say that is that there are times in our life when we are having to take a back seat and having to learn lessons and having to practice experiencing and receiving, and not just progressing and initiating ambition. That there's a time for both of those things in our life, and that several areas of our life are going to elicit one or the other of that balance. And right now for me, a lot of my life is focused on receiving and just experiencing the emotions, and sitting in a place of grieving as I ready myself for whatever comes next. And I don't know what comes next. And as I sit with that feeling, I typically feel really overwhelmed. And I think I felt really overwhelmed the whole day until now. And now I feel like I'm at a place where I'm trying to gain understanding from what this is bringing me. And I believe that there's lots of ways that we learn, and ways that we are given guidance, and ways that we are supposed to take information or learn from the environment that we're in. And today I decided to drive to a park, even though my son was already asleep and we had just been to one, because I just needed to be somewhere different and I needed to look at something beautiful. And my intention was to bring myself to a fountain. And I really wanted a McDonald's Coke, or Fanta. So I went there first. And then I came here only to realize that there is no fountain, but it is a sculpture park, and it is a park that when he wakes up, he'll love to play in. I brought tarot with me just because. And what keeps peeking out is the Hierophant. And that card signifies leadership, teacher, being able to teach and give information to other people. And I was listening to some Taylor Swift, some sad Taylor Swift, and just thinking about my life, my transition, my relationships, and what I am learning right now. And I've had a lot of conversations the past couple days with friends about grieving my relationships and what that process looks like. And as I sit and pull into this park, and my son wakes up, and I'm just shuffling these cards really to give me some solace out of the restlessness. That Hierophant keeps pulling up, and it made me think, what am I learning about grieving? And maybe I am to help you learn about what life looks like in reality in our emotional processes. And maybe I'm here to help people understand the grieving process and what to do about it and how to navigate it, and to show how I am, as just a regular human, learning how to navigate grieving in my everyday process. I've had so much loss in every intangible context over the past couple years. And even that, as I say that, is interesting because my son's dad is currently going through so much tangible loss, losing a lot of loved ones. And I've always felt that our histories are two sides of the same coin. And as I'm thinking those things, I was listening to the manuscript by Taylor Swift. She talks about losing a loved one, losing a relationship, and it bringing her to her knees, reverting her back to childhood tendencies, relying on her attachment of her mother to provide comfort and security. And she talks about revisiting the manuscript, that occasionally she revisits those memories. And I thought that the manuscript is not only one individual story, but it's also the story of your life. And now and again, I revisit the manuscript of certain stories in mine, certain relationships, certain eras. And other times, I reflect on my whole story. And as I thought that, she finishes her song saying, Now and then, I revisit the manuscript, but the story isn't mine anymore. And I think that that is how we heal. It's a great line to describe that healing process. That we have a story and are impacted by the lessons and the experiences that we have. And as we sit through it and we heal from it and we process it and we share it and we gain experience from it and we find community in it one way or another, that eventually that story does not become ours anymore. It becomes larger than us, if we so choose. If we're able to see its value and its worth and allow it to be more than what we believe it to be. And so as I think about me grieving and maybe exploring and showing what grieving looks like from emotional neglect, from emotional abuse, from loss of identity, from inauthenticity, from a life that I wanted but did not serve me, from everything that I thought that was supposed to be for me and never was. That maybe if I can show you how I do that, maybe that is my story, but eventually it won't be mine anymore, it will be ours. And it will be yours. And it won't be a story, it will be a method. It's okay, bub. And it will be a path. A path to find your peace in the way that works for you. But at least you've seen somebody do it. And you know how to get out. But the only way out is through. So, here's to getting through.